Hello and welcome back to the Kinds and Grandmothers podcast, where we delve deep into the stories, people, and connections that shape who we are. Today's episode is about something dear to the heart: kin, especially grandmothers. Families can be complex, turbulent, joyful, and unforgettable. But there's often one person who sits quietly at the center of it all, connecting everyone with love, wisdom, and sometimes a little gossip: grandmothers. Now sit down, grab a cup of tea, and let's embark on a journey into the meaning of family, the role of kin, and the incomparable warmth of a grandmother's touch. Let's start with a simple truth. No one chooses their kin. You're born into a web of people you didn't choose, but who, in some way, contribute to shaping your life. Cousins, uncles, aunts, siblings. They form the first community you'll ever know. Think about your earliest memories. For many of us, there's a cousin we fought with, an aunt who always made us feel special, or an uncle who told the same joke at every family dinner. These moments are important. They become part of our story. Relatives are like different colors in a painting. Each adds a distinctive touch. Some bold, some subtle, some barely noticeable at first glance. But together, they create a picture that expresses your origins. There's also the strange dynamic of love and distance. Some relatives live next door, others across the world. Some you see weekly, some only at weddings or funerals. Yet, when you see them, you feel a thread of familiarity, a sense of shared roots, even if the branches are far apart. Family gatherings. You know the scene. The living room is too crowded. Someone has brought in too much food. The kids are screaming. The adults are laughing. And somewhere in the kitchen, a heated argument is raging over something as simple as who makes the best rice. But despite the chaos, or perhaps because of it, the most beautiful memories are born in these gatherings. There's magic in sitting around a table with people who knew you before you knew yourself. People who remember when you lost your first tooth, or cried at your first heartbreak. Relatives are witnesses to our lives. And at the center of it all, there's often a grandmother. Grandmas are something special, whether you call them grandma, nana, tita, yaya, or whatever. They often serve as the emotional support of the family. My grandmother was the same. She didn't talk much, but when she did, we listened. Her stories were filled with age-old wisdom, some funny, some sad, and all true. She had lived through wars, loss, and change, yet found joy in the simplest things, like baking. Grandmothers have a way of making us feel safe, just by being there. They hold secrets from previous generations, passing on traditions that might otherwise be forgotten. Maybe it's a special dish only she knows about, a song she sings while folding laundry, or the way she tells you you're loved, without using many words. Even in families where tension or conflict reigns, a grandmother is often a neutral place. Her home is where everyone returns, like a beacon in a storm. Grandmothers teach quietly. They don't always force you to sit through a lecture, but they teach you how to live your life simply through their actions. From my grandmother, I learned patience. She never rushed anything. Not cooking, not stories, not life. She taught me the value of listening. She had a way of making people feel their stories matter, even if you've heard them 100 times before. And she taught me resilience. Life hasn't always been kind to her, but it's never lost its kindness. If you're lucky enough to have a grandmother in your life, I hope you'll take a moment today to call her, visit her, or at least remember her fondly. Ask her questions. Listen to her stories. These moments won't last forever, but their impact will. When a grandmother passes away, it's like a library has burned down. A voice you never knew you relied on suddenly disappears. The family still gathers, but the feeling is different. Something is missing. But the beautiful thing is, they never truly leave us. They remain in the recipes we try to recreate, in the lullabies we hum, in the way we comfort our children or siblings. This is how grandmothers live, through us. As we grow older, we begin to see the world through their eyes. We understand what they once said, we feel what they felt, and we realize the depth of their love. Relatives give us roots. Grandmothers give us soul. We may grow old, move away, and build new families of our own. But this thread, woven by family and sealed with a grandmother's love, is never broken. So, whether your family is near or far, simple or complex, noisy or quiet, take a moment to honor them, especially those who raised us with tender hands, warm meals, and stories older than us. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Relatives and Grandmothers. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and maybe share it with someone who reminds you of home.